What the fuck is going on this wonderful, hellaciously cold, bleak, terrification Friday?
I'm drinking a cup of tea I made 5 minutes ago, and it's already like a cup of juice.
And has it warmed you at all?
No.
My goodness. Well, we can only help or hope, that it will help you and somehow ease you through this period, because I don't know if you people out there in Three Witches Land been paying attention to the weather. A fucking cyclone of winter weather has ripped through the Northeast, and definitely in Gangis's little domain, unfortunately, has been catching the brunt of the freeze out. Oh, Kyler, yes, we all feel like we need a drink and some laughs. So guess what? It's coming. But before,
right there.
And there's the intro. Ready for the punchline. We got a really kind of a cool list for y'all tonight.
Well, that's a horrible pun.
What's that?
You said it's a cool list. That's a horrible pun.
That's true. Well, I was going to finish that with for us to shred apart, like grated cheese, dealing with the best horror films that you should be watching during the winter time.
Yes.
According to some fucking company I've never heard of in Timbuktu.
Yeah.
So, you know it's going to be bad. But before we get there, again, I have to say the overwhelming response to me and Iron Serpent's new single, Aramon, has been fucking amazeballs. And I have to say thank y'all. Thank you all so much for that. We really, really appreciate that. Oh, Kyler's been listening to it all day, he says. That makes me feel even better. It's a very, very special song. And like I said, one day I will explain to everyone what the song's about. All right.
Yeah.
What's that?
What?
Oh, you... Never mind. I had a delay somehow from you, and all I heard was, yeah.
Oh, no. As soon as you finish saying one day you'll tell us what it's about, I said, hell to the yeah.
Well, somebody just has to ask. But before we get into the chicanery of this God's awful piece of rubbish shit, let us take a quick commercial break to our brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check it out. Allahu Akbar. Alrighty. And there'll be an update to this commercial soon because the Iron Serpent line is now live.
Yes, it is.
So you can get some, I don't even know how to call it, Serpent Cult amazeballs from Poison Valley Clothing. I had to stop and think because I'm like, What's the best way to put this shit? Join the Serpent Cult and get you a hoodie or a shirt.
Yeah.
It's very cheap, super fast shipping, and ultra good quality. All right. And Kyler, I'll tell you what, if we got about 5 minutes at the end of the show, I will tell the story of what Aramon is all about. All righty. Let's get into this damn thing.
So this is the best winter horror movies to watch in the cold months is the title.
And it's called the denofgeek.com. Like I said, who the fuck are these jagoffs?
I don't know, but apparently the icy grip of winter continues to hold strong, and its horror chillers will do nothing to warm your blood.
It warms my blood.
Agreed.
Who doesn't love horror?
Dark little heart. Anyway.
Yes. I don't know. For us here at the Shred and of course Three Witches, we love our horror all the time.
Yes.
So it's not, but there's certain films that I guess just kind of go along with the wintertime that sometimes, I suppose, if you're warmed up against the fire or something of that sort, you might want to watch some. So starting with their first one. How many did they say?
I think it's 16.
16 of them. Okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't stupid about that. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love this classic? 30 fucking Days of Night.
Yes.
You know, it's funny to me that in the vampire genre that they haven't thought of the idea of the one place in the U.S. where for 30 days it is darkness.
For sure.
Better late than never, I guess. Let's see what they have to say on the subject. It's a little meaty, but it also looks like it might suck.
It really kind of does.
They have lived in the shadows long enough. No shit. What is the one thing that all vampires and vampire lore have been trying to do for centuries? Finding ways to live in the light as well as the dark. I mean, that's pretty obvious to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all. Salem says hello.
Hey, Salem.
But above the Arctic Circle, there's a party going on, and the main attraction is vampires on ice in this snowbound gore fest. I'm sorry. Did you just read off the playbill for Vampires on Ice? The musical on ice, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, come on! Isn't that kind of an oxymoron too? Vampires on ice?
It really is.
They're not in the ice. They're in the fucking snow.
Yeah.
They came over by a fucking ship from...
Tyler says he thinks the sequel is pretty bad.
You know, I really didn't hate the second one. I didn't hate it. It didn't have the same budget, obviously, because it went straight to DVD. But it was still decent. And let's face it, cable plays it over and over again. I can't tell you how many streaming services that damn movie's on. You can fucking find it everywhere. But still not as good as the original. But it does follow the story. Let's see. These are no mere Arctic performers. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't think they know what they're talking about.
Who would even think for 1 second that a vampire is a Arctic performer? Could you imagine? Covered in blood.
Oh my
I mean, if it's like hailing body parts at you, that might be kind of fucking fun. Or if like squirt you with some blood out of their vampire teats. That'd be cool.
But no, we don't need no Twilight on Ice.
No, those sparkling half-breed bitches. Seriously, that's not what vampires were supposed to be. Come on. The vampires of 30 Days of Night embrace the old school brutality we haven't seen since Nosferatu. I don't know. I've seen
Wow.
Nosferatu, and he wasn't brutal.
No, he was very,
Very in the
he was
shadow.
kind of creepy and gross looking, but like he definitely wasn't brutal about it.
Mm-mm. There wasn't a bite in the whole film that you could literally see.
Exactly. He didn't rip anyone's
Yeah.
heads off or anything. What the fuck?
Fucking Mr. fucking Barlow was scarier than
Yeah.
Count Orlok. I'm not taking anything away from the film because I believe that if I was in the 1920s and saw that shit for the first time, I probably would have freaked the fuck out too.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the music throughout the film was awful.
That's why I don't watch that version.
You know what? And I rewatched the one from the 70s with Klaus Kinski. It's just not that good.
Oh, I meant the original that has the Type of Negative soundtrack.
Oh, that's better.
Much better.
I mean, all the way to the point where they're like dictating the action. I loved that. Peter was a genius.
By the way, speaking of which, make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Tracks of the Damned, where we will be talking about Typo.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be ranking their top 5.
Yes.
According to us.
And not these people who suck.
It'll be right. It'll be great to see some of y'all's opinions as well.
Absolutely.
All long claws and sadistic, cruel stares. There is nothing seductive to these demons. Finally!
Yeah.
That was the point.
Exactly.
They are terrifying. Not so sure about all the cackling they did. I like the fact that they spoke a foreign language. That was
cool. That was cool, but yeah.
It's like the way that I can do that all day, but that's just gonna annoy me at the by the third or fourth act. They're as cold as death itself, and for 30 days, when northern Alaska is plunged into darkness every year, they are going to feast. Really? I thought they were there to play pinochle with them. It's in this context we meet Sheriff Olson, played by Josh Hartnett, who did a fucking great job.
Yes.
Despite being charged with the safety of his town, he tries to save his estranged wife, Stella, and let me say, what a sacrifice that was.
Oh, yeah.
From having his neighbors turned into cattle, one of the niftier ideas for a vampire movie, 30 Days of Night, is a gushing blast and as much fun as seeing a creature of the undead get thrown into a snowplow. That was your favorite part.
That was your favorite part.
It was great. Don't get me wrong.
Right, but
I thought the way they took the guy down driving the plow was cooler.
Agreed.
So, excellent choice. Horrible write-up.
Yeah. I have a feeling this might be a theme throughout this, that the choices aren't bad, but the write-ups are awful.
Well, I don't really agree with the next one.
Didn't see it.
And that is the motherfucking problem in the first place. Only some of us, a little in our years, remember the great 50s and 60s films. And unfortunately,
I've watched a fair number of them, but I have not watched this one.
Right. Because it wasn't any good. You don't hear any horror podcast, horror list at all talk about the abominable fucking snowman from 57.
No.
Okay. The only abominable snowman that anyone talks about is from fucking Scooby-Doo.
Either that or Bumble from Rudolph.
Right. I mean, those by far were much better than this film. So I don't know why the hell they decided to pick this.
I have no idea.
And it's known as the abominable snowman of the Himalayas.
Okay.
That right there turns me off.
Agreed.
If you would like to
Sure.
paraphrase some of this
This
crap.
Hammer production came from the pen of the often brilliant Nigel Neal, the writer behind the Quartermass series and other seminal works of British sci-fi, adapted by him from his BBC teleplay The Creature. The film stars Hammer staple Peter Cushing as a British scientist who joins an American expedition in search of the legendary Yeti. And what they find is surprised not on far. Oh my god, this is horrible. Yetis are not monsters, but an intelligent species waiting for humankind to destroy itself so they can have the planet to themselves?
At what point did we ever turn the Yeti into this horrible, monstrous killing machine of people?
I don't know, but that's more entertaining than whatever the fuck they just said.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. The best part of this film is the fact that Peter Cushing is in it. The great Hammer Horror Productions star of many, many films. Much better than this one, I might add. Well, it actually goes on to say the Yeti are not monsters, but
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah. I can't get over that part.
No, me neither.
It has me perplexed.
Yeah, I want to know, first of all, why someone thought that was a good idea in the first place. And second of all, why the fuck it's on the best of list? Because that does not sound like a good movie at all.
The movie doesn't really come off like the guy wanted it to in the first place.
I'm sure it doesn't.
And it even goes on to kick it right in the dick. The Yeti dick. The movie suffers from a slow pace and a low budget that keeps it wintry locations stuck on a studio backlot. It's 1957.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you expect?
That's a good question.
I mean, some locations, like if they were doing Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, any of those is easier to pull off at a real location or even the back of a lot, for instance. Yeah. Much easier to pull off. So that part, a massive beeb.
I agree. Where is he anyway? Where's the beeb? There it is.
Finally, the Bieber is free.
Yep.
About 4 or 5 myself today. Don't know why. Oh, I know. Same. It's because I've been eating salad every day.
Oh, I do it.
But nonetheless, it says it's worth watching because of the story, Cushing, Tucker, and some of the atmospheric moments. So if you want a snooze fest, you need something to put you to sleep, this is the fucker for you. Yeah. So why they put that on here, I'll never understand.
I have no idea.
Nope. What?
This next one I've never heard of. Never heard of it.
The Black Coat's Daughter.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's got some Catholic schoolgirl knelt before a what looks like an old school heater.
Yeah.
While certainly an acquired taste, okay, well, you're already shitting on the creator of this. Yeah. Oz Perkins and A24's The Black Coat Daughter still feels underrated. Really?
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's not underrated. It's been tucked away, sealed by tape, so nobody could watch it.
Sounds about right, because I have never even heard of it.
It says it's a deliberate, brutally cruel mystery that awaits nearly its whole running time to unfurl. It's depravity. The film is relentlessly bleak with one of the biggest gut punch endings we've seen in the last decade. So this movie's recent. Really? Now that's interesting. The film follows 2 separate threads. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
That will inevitably intersect. Well, at least they brought it together.
Yeah.
Because some films don't do a good job of doing that. A young, lonely girl, it's oddly specific, who has nowhere to go at her boarding school over a holiday break. She thinks she's found a connection with an older student named Rose, who is also elected to stay behind. Oh, so this is part of the plot of Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. But Rose has other things on her mind, including stories of occult witchcraft in the basement.
No.
You lost me already.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking boring.
It really does.
Because
I mean,
how many
that
times
sounds like
have
a
we...
typical Saturday night for me. I don't know about you, but
Exactly right. This is not new, people. Maybe
No.
for, people that are of the sheep variety might find this disturbing. But to
Yeah.
us, it's like the fucking moment we wake up in the morning. So,
Exactly.
next.
Next.
So it says, the less you know about this, the better. It's Devastation Plays. What the fuck ever, people.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that this is a winter favorite.
Not at all.
It's an all year long favorite.
Yes.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, the fucking pride of the entire phenomenon of Dracula films. This is the top. It does not get better than that.
I'll agree.
Unless you're throwing in some Dracula Untold, which was a very good film.
What the fuck is this doing in this list? I mean, yes, there's a couple like parts
at the end.
Like, yeah, like there's some snow and a little bit of ice chase and stuff, but like
this doesn't make it a winter favorite.
No, not at all. I mean, like I want, movies of people stranded out in the Arctic trying to survive or some shit. Like that's what I thought this list was supposed to be.
Where the fuck is Dead Snow?
Hopefully it's on here. It better be.
Or fucking Stephen King's Mercy.
Yeah.
Serious. How could that not be on the list? Well, I bet you that other fucker's on here, and I'm sick of that showing up every 5 seconds.
Which one?
The fucking Shining.
Oh.
I hope it's not. For once. It's not the only great horror film ever made in recent times. It's good, but it's not that fucking good. As a film that is actually set around almost an entire year, 1897, Francis Ford Coppola's Luscious. It's luscious, is it?
I guess so.
Luscious and decadent chiller memorable concludes in the dead of winter when the snow is piling high. Hello. It's the Carpathian Mountains. What the fuck do you expect?
Exactly.
The film might be deceptively titled. Deceptively titled?
What? What?
Says it's deceptively titled Bram Stoker's Dracula. What deception are they creating here?
I don't know.
What? Is nevertheless a tour de France in old school film production. Oh, thanks! The stellar fucking acting?
Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't
Complete
know.
with Oscar-winning costumes and makeup and special effects. Resurrected straight out of the vaudeville era. Fuck you.
What?
He just basically said, A, they're Oscar-winning costumes, and then B, basically cut it down at the balls to say that it's like straight out of the vaudeville era. Now, if you know anything about the vaudeville era, everything was very tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
And it was cheesy as fuck. There's nothing cheesy about these at all.
No.
Like, not at all. This includes a wintry wickedness, too. Again, folks, they're talking about the last 20 fucking minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
This is not enough to say that it's a winter favorite.
No, I don't think so.
I failed to see it. It's an all year round experience.
Exactly.
For the true, Dracula lover in you.
Right.
So, what? This will get you. As Coppola conjures a stylized vision, including his third act snowstorm in the wilderness of Transylvania. As alluring as any of the other movies' feverish dreamscapes, the white powder that falls on Winona Ryder and Anthony Hopkins' cloaked heads never looks exactly real. So now you're saying it looks fake?
What?
That's what it says.
What the fuck?
And what the fuck is feverish? What's feverish about it?
I have no idea.
That you're on the edge of your seat because it's breathtaking? What? The lurid claustrophobia only grows as Ryder's vampire halfling momentarily ensnares Hopkins as Van Helsing, and Van Helsing then in turn uses his actual sword while visiting Dracula's brides in their crypt. What? I'm not exactly sure what the hell that was about.
Me neither.
It's claustrophobic? Because he put himself in a ring of fire? I fell into a burning ring of fire. And it burns you in the dick for writing such a stupid write-up.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps trying to say the icy mountains leaves every character mad and buried under an Eastern European cold that's as enthralling as any vampire bite. That's how you end your synapses.
That's horrible. I mean,
nothing about brilliance, nothing about amazing.
Horror. It's not horror, but it's like saying that, the first Lord of the Rings movie is a winter favorite because there's that one scene on the fucking snowy mountain.
Oh, I bet you that motherfucker mentions that. It's not even horror. Come on. What the hell is this?
I don't know.
Two kids that were sleep deprived and playing with eyeliner? What?
That's what it looks like.
It's a movie from 2008, apparently, called The Children.
Never heard of it. The idea of our very
let us
children...
into their brilliance, please.
Oh, yeah. The idea of our very children turning against us is hardly a new one, and it's manifested in everything from Village of the Damned to Who Can Kill a Child to The Good Son. But it was brought home in especially nasty fashion in this 2008 horror thriller, directed by Tom Shankland, blah, blah, blah. Two sisters and their families get together at the eldest sister's secluded country home for Christmas, only for the children to start turning against their parents in a homicidal fashion, forcing the adults to fight for their lives even as they grapple with the idea of killing their own offspring. What?
Is this a horror comedy?
I don't know. Let's see. The film's holiday backdrop is ironically turned into a festival of death as the Tots find macabre ways to kill their parents. And it's never explained what turns a kid into monsters. What gives the children an extra twist to the knife is the exploration of the parental urge to defend one's own kids, even in the face of their worst possible behavior. Tautly written and genuinely disturbing, the children leave you chilled in ways that have nothing to do with its winter setting.
I'm sorry if little Johnny, grabs a fucking knife and just starts carving people up like pumpkins.
Yeah.
You're not going to defend him. You're going to
No.
fucking wrestle his ass to the ground, get the knife away, and put that bitch in a submission hold. That's what you're going to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly.
This sounds like an isolated version of Children of the Corn without the corn and without the corn god.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It just, no shit, it's genuinely disturbing.
Yeah.
Ha ha!
Yes! Finally,
They
something that
got
belongs on
one
this
right.
list. They did.
Give
About
a dog
time.
a bone. Dead Snow actually made it to the list. I am
Heck
shocked.
yeah. I am too.
Genuinely shocked. I mean, who hasn't played any countless number of video games involving having to blow up some Nazi zombies? I mean, who doesn't love that?
Exactly.
I know I love it. I like to
Same.
burn them sometimes. I like to blow them up with frag grenades. I like to, shoot them with a bazooka. That's fun too. Well, let me tell you, if you haven't seen Dead Snow, something's fucking wrong with you because this shit is terrifying and hilarious all at the same time.
Not only is it a great winter movie, but I think it's probably my all-time favorite zombie film.
I almost have to agree. It's like the Finnish got it right for some reason. It was made in Finland, as far as I know, or is it Norwegian? Shit, I fucked up. It's Norwegian. At least that's where it takes place.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, my fuck ups aside, it obviously says snow and Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
Do you really need to know more?
That's fair.
Hopefully they mean, it's going to be a fucking killer movie and it is all in the fucking snow. A desolate fucking cabin where a bunch of people get together for a weekender, not knowing what lay beneath them. It says Tommy Wirkola's film is heavy on style and completely absent from anything resembling substance, but in the long nights of the deep chill, who is looking for anything too meaty in their entertainment? What? Did he just burn them 3 times in one sentence?
He really did.
Let him out.
Yeah.
And again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Until you take that comment back.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy bastard. Come on. It lacked substance. The storyline is fucking great.
It is.
To me, it's almost reminiscent of some of those classic 80s horror films, slasher films.
I agree.
Because, you get the youngins together and they're partying a little bit and, somebody gets jealous of someone else. When he says more bad shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck me. Thus enters Dead Snow, a gonzo horror movie. Hey,
what?
Gonzo is one of the coolest fucking Muppets that have ever lived.
I'll agree with that.
Don't ask me what makes it a gonzo film.
I have no idea what the fuck is he talking about.
He must be making fun of it. I just feel like, JD's behind this again.
He's gotta be.
Disguised as a nerd.
Like, I ain't seen no goddamn puppets. What the fuck are you going on about?
He's a fucking Muppet, and if he was, I'd fucking rip his stupid head off.
Yeah.
A gonzo horror movie in which Third Reich goose-stepping ghouls parade around a Norwegian mountain cabin that is ostensibly for skiing. Okay. So it's meant for skiing. He could have just said that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I think it's JD. He always brings up these fucking words that don't make any fucking
Or
sense.
even could have just said, a Norwegian ski cabin.
Sure, that would have covered the bill.
Yeah.
Yet primarily exists to provide the zombies with a fresh stream of meat to devour. That is not exactly the story.
No,
Did this
not at
fucker
all.
even watch the film? Probably
No,
not.
I really don't think he did, because he said it had a horrible plot, which it doesn't, and then he completely missed anything about it.
Cockknocker goes on to say, you see them eat machine gun and slice humans who in turn get to use all manner of World War II tech against the hordes of corpses who seem inexplicably less scary in death than they did in life.
Okay.
I don't know if some friggin' exactly, Kyler. They want their fucking gold back. That is the thing that gets them out of the freaking snow in the first place.
Exactly. And what the hell's he talking about? Less scary in death. Those are fucking great special effects, creepy ass motherfucking zombies.
You have to admit, for a budget like that, they fucking stole it. Those effects were great. Very practical.
Hang on, look at this shit. Hang on.
I am
because
so
I am so fired up. This asshole is ripping this apart. It's like, if you haven't seen this movie, I mean, where'd it go? Technical difficulty.
Oh no! Did you lose it? No!
You lost it.
No! Oh, this is great.
There we go.
How dare you?
Legit.
I agree.
I mean, look at that. Those things are horrifying.
I mean, if I came up to that in the middle of the night, and it's like middle of the night, folks, darker than dark, there's no fucking light poles around. The only thing you got is the moonlight and the cabin. That's it. That shit's horrifying, and they're getting picked off one by one in some of the cases.
Yeah.
For those who just like mayhem complete with some Edvard Grieg music to class things up upon occasion, this is hard to beat. That's all they had to say. That's it.
Yeah, how do they go? How do they take a beeb on this thing like 10 times and then say it's hard to beat this movie?
That was his fuckery way of saying, if you want to see a piece of shit, you found the right film.
You know what? You know what?
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
You just got the elbow drop of doom, and I would squash his fucking head.
Yep.
And then fart in his face. This fucking guy. This was awful. This was truly, truly awful. We're talking about a fucking classic. And then they want to put this piece of shit on the list.
Didn't see it.
Okay. I mean, just because Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise were in this movie once upon a time, it's not even a horror movie.
Yeah.
Eyes wide fucking shut. You know what? My eyes were wide fucking shut when it came on the TV one day. And I didn't want to fucking see it. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, how do they shit on one of the greatest fucking snow horror films of all time, and then turn around and put this pack of shit on here? It's beyond me.
No.
They are brutal how they kill in 1 and 2. Oh yeah, for sure. Both dead snow films. Oh, great kill scenes. Fantastic. Especially the big fight between the Russians and the Nazis. It was great.
Anyway, doesn't really belong on here. It's not horror. Should we just skip it?
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's a piece of shit.
All right. This next one, though, I'm fucking excited about. Let it go, let it go. Wrong movie, sorry. Anyway, I love this fucking movie. It's a great movie.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, okay. So we'll see what Chucklefuck says. But basic idea of this movie is, I think it's 3 people are on a ski lift,
Okay.
and a storm hits and it breaks down and they're stranded there. It's very like
Mm,
psychological horror. They have to try to get down and survive, and there's a lot of frostbite and shit. And oh, it's nasty. Good movie.
okay. Sure. I remember this now. I remember seeing advertisements,
Mm-hmm.
but I never actually got to see the film. But, you
It's
know,
pretty good.
if we learned anything from Deep Underwater, I believe it was called, the one about the 2 scuba divers that get mistakenly
Mhm.
left in the middle of the ocean and die
Yeah.
by sharks. Um, this kind of thing is very, realistic. The realism. Um, Imagine what that would feel like.
Yeah.
You would think that they would lose circulation sitting up there.
Mm-hmm.
They're very high up, and if you were try to like climb down or anything or drop, you're gonna
Mm.
get fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So what? Oh my God! I can already see a horrible sentence. You want to go ahead and read through it, or
Sure. Adam Green has gone on to make a career out of franchise slashers thanks to his cult popular Hatchet series, but he's never been better than in this humble horror flick Frozen. Note, not
how
the
they gonna
one with
shit on
animals.
Hatchet?
Yeah. Here's the setup. 3 people get stuck on a ski lift at a resort that's closed for the weekend. That's it. This film does a beautiful job as it explores the futility of the situation, and every conceivable escape plan is considered, and it's devastating to see that these are not stupid characters, they're just stuck in an impossible scenario. I think my summary was a little bit better.
Yes, I especially hated the excels at small character
Oh
moments.
yeah, it excels at small character moments and relationship drama, but what this movie does best is make you feel cold. The film is a constant reminder of how much it sucks to be stuck out in sub-zero temperatures. There's a certain scene that involves someone falling asleep with their face on cold metal, and if that doesn't make you cringe, you're not human.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that scene.
oh, I'm sure it
Yeah.
was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we all got to figure out what it's like to have your tongue stuck to a pole when it's below temperatures out,
Now
let
imagine
alone a
leaving
whole
it that.
fucking face.
Oh yeah, you fell asleep with their face against part of the ski lift.
Mm.
Oof.
Well, I can definitely say this did not do it any justice.
No, this isn't Scary Movie 3, Kyler.
That would totally be something they would do too.
Yep.
They lost me yet again.
Yep.
What in the utter fuck would the original Invisible Man from 1933 doing on this list?
I have no
We're
fucking idea.
and like want to be frightened. This is the last film
Yeah.
that I would want to watch. I mean, don't we normally watch films that are kind of set in like hotter temperatures during the wintertime because we miss the sun?
True.
This one just doesn't cut the mustard at all. I'm not even sure why it's on here.
Me neither. And like, I'm sorry, but this movie isn't scary.
You're
This is supposed to be
telling me
scary.
that because in the film they go into frigid waters off Coney Island, that constitutes as wintertime?
No.
I don't know, Kyler. It doesn't seem like this film, in my opinion, gives us a whole lot of hint that it's just awful winter unless they actually say what month it is.
Yeah.
I just don't think this one screams, horror classic to watch during the winter time.
Ooh. I
I
got
don't
a little
know.
ahead of myself. I've never heard of the next one, but oh my god, I want to watch it.
Well, it kind of looks very interesting.
It does.
The Lamb. It's a simply Lamb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it make you think of getting a gyro?
No, because I puked last time I ate lamb chops, so I never want to eat lamb again.
Oh, hell's bells. I don't actually get my gyros with lamb, just saying I get it with turkey, just because it's better for you.
Oh, that's nice.
But okay, well, tell us about what you've discovered.
The eeriest thing about lamb is how seriously and even pleasantly it treats its premise. After Christmas Eve, two lonely, grieving sheep farmers make a horrible discovery. Something has impregnated one of their livestock with a creature that's half human and half lamb. And in her own personal despair, Rapus's Maria makes the unnatural choice to raise this creature as her own.
Oh no!
Director and co-writer Vladimir Johansson treats this like an Icelandic folk tale, which is perhaps why, veering towards the conventions of horror, Maria's household is the image of domestic bliss, but the longer the movie plays and the older their lamb child gets, the tighter the knot in your stomach will turn. That sounds like it might be a fun movie to watch on, like, a blizzardy day.
I guess so. Or it'll make you want to go under the covers even harder.
Yeah.
That's almost got like Walrus, the movie Walrus tendencies.
For sure.
Half lamb, half human. Was it the child a boy or a girl?
Oh my goodness, look at this thing.
Either way, it's terrifying. It's almost as terrifying as seeing Art the Clown fucking streaking.
Yeah.
You got a picture of this thing?
I'm looking for it.
Now you've piqued my interest.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, this one I'm looking for.
You know, I'll tell you, those Icelandic and Norwegian folktales, there are some pretty interesting things. So I can only imagine which one this was based on.
I'm a little confused.
Okay. I don't know. I gotta have a drink before I see this thing.
I'm confused. I really am.
Confused on what it looks like, or
yeah. I mean,
how could it be any worse than Man Bear Pig?
it's not. It just looks like a lamb.
There's no human That's because you can't see the rest of it.
Well, that's true.
It probably stands on two fucking legs.
True.
You know, it's almost like they took the idea of Pan, you know, the half man, half deer idea, and flipped it in reverse. Could you imagine a lamb running at you going,
right?
I mean, to me, that's fucking terrifying. I'd be like, go away, Christ. I don't know. I might have to check it out. I just might.
I'm going to have to definitely check it out.
It just seems so weird, though. How could that be romanticized? That's... Oh. Now, this is interesting. The Last Winter.
Okay.
So right there, it tells us it's set most definitely in the wintertime. As the last and most expansive of 4 highly personal horror films written and directed by maverick film entrepreneur. How much ball greasing can we do in one sentence? Larry Fessenden, whose Glass Eye picks have been a bastion of off-the-grid indie filmmaking for more than 3 decades. Okay, this doesn't exactly entice me, but we shall look a little further.
Mm-hmm.
Features his overtly topical story as well as his first Hollywood name cast. Oh, Ron Perlman's in this.
Okay.
Now you've piqued my interest.
Agreed.
Who doesn't love some Perlman? James Lagos and Connie Britton work on an oil drilling base in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. That was a mouthful.
That's not
where the gruff Perlman is interested only in getting the black gold out of the ground. Well, no shit. They're there to get oil extracted. Keeping the operation in line environmentally. All right, so there's a human quandary there. A series of strange occurrences, however, begin to chip away at the minds and lives of the crew, as soon to lead to a realization that nature itself might be seeking vengeance on humanity. Hello. Okay. If the last 10 years hasn't proved that. Come on. It says, like The Thing, a clear influence, although the crafty zigzags through others as well. The Last Winter benefits enormously from its massive and utterly flat Icelandic locations and a sense of isolation and emptiness as they provide. Now, why do the people that wrote this fucking piece of shit list seem to think that the only horrifying thing, Night Kyler, we will definitely see you tomorrow night.
Good night, Kyler. Sweet dreams.
Lazy nipple dreams. Why the fuck do they think that snow equals desolation, isolation?
I have no idea.
The fear of being trapped in the snow. That is not the only type of horror film set in winter times focuses on. I don't know about you, but let's say you get snowed in. You got a blizzard.
Yeah.
Do you really want to watch other people trying to trudge through the same tragedy?
No.
That bores the shit out of me already.
Exactly.
Come on. It's they somehow manifest a ancient angry spirit and okay.
Yeah.
Now, they gave us a whole lot of info there, but it was fucking boring and shitty. I don't recommend it.
No.
Oh, wow. They gave us a doable here.
They did. I only saw one version of this movie, but I don't even know which one it was.
This is confusing. Why would they have 2 versions within 2 years of each other?
Yeah, I don't know why 2 people made it that close together.
Well, we saw this with The Ring and we saw this with The Grudge, right?
Mm-hmm.
America has to make their version.
Always.
Oh, we're talking about Let the Right One In, which made its debut in 2008, and then the Americanized version of Let Me In 2010. So, I don't know. I leave it up to everyone in the comment section, as well as ourselves. Which one was better? How many people actually saw the original?
I don't know which one I saw. Whichever one was on Netflix.
Oh, I guarantee it was probably the American one then.
Probably.
Because I've noticed that all the original ones end up on like Tubi.
Yeah, that's true.
For some reason. These back-to-back adaptations of John Ovid Lindquist's novel are fairly equally matched in heartbreaking tenderness and swirling snow.
Okay.
Okay, then. The original Swedish film is considered the all-time classic, and rightfully so. All right, so he just said, fuck the other film.
Yep.
But if you never saw the original, how could you compare them?
I don't know.
It made Let Me In possible and reminisces about white blanketed 1980s childhoods with longing and dread in a vision that far more intensely fears the threat of toxically violent bullies than it does its vampire anti-heroine, Eli.
Okay.
Why do I feel like there was slander just now?
It really kind of was. And, that movie in some parts is kind of disturbing, but I really don't know if I'd actually call it straight up horror.
Well, what was the fucking focus? Was it on the fact that there's a vampire trying to come in? And a child vampire at that.
Yeah, but they were like friends.
Exactly. So, did it go hand in hand with the bully situation?
I don't even remember. It's been a while since I saw it, but I don't know.
So then this one was not very high up on your list of favorites.
No, not really.
I don't know.
I wouldn't put it in my top 100 favorite movies, so.
I sure as hell wouldn't have put it on this list either.
No.
Who cares if it took place in the wintertime? It doesn't mean that you should pull it out during the winter months.
Exactly.
I'd rather see Blade kicking ass in the winter.
Agreed.
That'd be more fun.
And I don't know what this next one is.
Not a damn clue.
But we definitely know the one after it if you want to gloss over this shit fast.
I mean, I heard of this film, but not only can you not leave the premises, you can't even leave the house without threat of death. That sounds like a Stephen King novel called The Mist.
Oh, they go on and say, but what if there's someone or something else in the house with you? Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick mined this idea to iconic effects, but the people of this movie make it fresh again.
Fresh with bullshit, right? I'd rather exactly. I'd rather watch the Stephen King film or one of Kubrick's fucked up little fantasies. I don't know. Seems dumb. They're trapped at a resort in the blizzard. And ghosts of Grace's complicated past begin walking the halls with them. What? Does she fucking murder a bunch of people? Is that the allure?
I don't know.
Sounds stupid.
Agreed.
I called it mercy. I fucked up.
I figured that's what you meant.
Misery actually made it to the list.
Honestly, I feel like this should be number 1 in the list.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But let me guess. It's not.
No, it's not.
Well, it does rival another really big, fantastical movie.
That is true. Except I put 4 or 5 movies ahead of it.
Now, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
At all. But you want to talk about a great tale to watch during the winter months. It is definitely fucking Misery.
Absolutely.
James Caan, rest his soul, laid it out on the line and was just beaten down literally to his core.
Exactly.
Stephen King was so ahead of the curve that he accidentally invented a metaphor for the parasocial relationships on social media between artists and their fans. Why would he say that?
I don't know.
That's like a personal dig kind of idea. Whoopsie.
Yeah, no.
You asshole. 2 decades before Facebook was a thing. Any hoozle, now that we fucking hate your guts.
Yeah.
uh, in Misery, that relationship gets physical after the vehicle of Paul Sheldon spins off the road, obviously. We know this. And he wakes, he discovers his life is saved by an avid reader and superfan named Annie Wilkes. The brilliant, I'll say that again, the brilliant Kathy Bates
Yes.
played this role to a fucking T.
Yes.
She was more believable than I don't know. Who could we possibly compare that to?
I don't know, because she was amazing.
Just even more so than Jack Nicholson as a madman.
Absolutely.
If you ask me.
I'll agree with that, yeah.
Just stellar fucking performance. And anyone who's a fan of the book, the movie hits it home. And
For
it's
sure.
signed, sealed, and approved by the great Stephen King. She tells him how she doesn't want the book to end and gives him ideas to write another one. And of course, if he doesn't do what she says or tries to leave, rest assured something's getting broken again.
Yeah.
To say the least. I really like this movie just, I mean, as a standalone, not even because it's set in the wintertime, but because some fans, and I'm, not saying anything specific, can get a little out of their boundaries, where they really want to be ingrained in, artists' minds.
It's like,
and
I
in their
guarantee you,
life.
he would have been just as grateful to her. Well, I mean, more. If she had fucking been there and called the fucking the cockadoo, the ambulance for him.
That
she
would have been enough.
His life, and he would have given her a fucking autograph or something.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Probably would have put her on TV saying, "This heroic woman had saved me."
Yeah.
Nah, she's got to have that new book.
Yeah.
It's always the quiet ones.
It is.
So I'm super glad that it made it here, but he goes on, this cockdoozle goes on to say, an obvious metaphor for the relationship of all writers with their readers, or any artist with an observer, unsurprisingly learns toward the author's perspective. It captured with a darkly humorous tone, a little bit. I mean, it's Rob Reiner. He's fucking famous for that shit. And he's great. He's fucking great. Who likely could not imagine the day when major multinational corporations would rewrite the entire plot of a 9-figure movie because of hashtags on Twitter?
What?
Lost me.
What the fuck is he talking about?
When was it rewritten? Oh, I think I get it now, you slimy fuck. He's trying to say that they destroyed the book's integrity.
What? I don't.
I read the book. The movie was not that much different.
No.
Rewrite the entire plot of a 9-figure movie because of hashtags? What?
I have no clue what the hell he's going on about. Moving on.
Apparently, this writer put too much of their own personal opinions into this.
Yeah.
Celebrate it for the reason it's on the list, not for what the fuck you think is wrong with
it. Exactly. All right, next one, another classic.
And definitely, I can honestly say, the first remake to ever destroy its original.
I'll agree with that.
destroyed it single-handedly in a good way.
Absolutely.
This fucking thing creeps me out to this day. Oddly enough, it's called The Thing. It's lonely being a scientific research team at the very bottom of the planet. Well, you chose to be there.
Exactly.
Where, they always say this, where you can freeze to death while taking the trash out. But that's what life is like for the 12 men in the Thing stationed at an outpost in our Antarctica. Suddenly find their laconic existence disrupted by the arrival of an alien organism with shape-changing abilities beyond any understanding. It didn't exactly... Well, it did arrive, but the ship had been there for literally centuries.
Mm-hmm.
They just happened to open Pandora's box.
Exactly.
That's what we get when we go poking around where we don't belong.
Yeah.
And then a beautiful German Shepherd happens to bring it over to their research facility.
Exactly.
Sadly. But nonetheless, thus our pack of dozen chilly eccentrics and misanthropes.
Okay.
Okay, what horror movie doesn't have a bunch of quirky characters?
Exactly.
And some of them are even comic relief, so fuck off.
Yeah.
Are forced to defend the very world they've cut themselves off from.
Okay.
Hopefully there's no scientists out watching us right now in Three Witches Land. Otherwise, that was a big slap to your face. So much has been written about Carpenter's sci-fi horror masterpiece that there is frankly little new ground to cover, but the setting adds to the tension, paranoia, and dread that the director establishes early on. That's very true. Yeah. Carpenter fucking nailed this film in a major fucking way. He gave us Halloween and then gives us The Thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing. The endless expanse of white emptiness, the cold, hard ground crunching underneath the feet of the men, the flames glowing against the snow as an alien imposter is set on fire. The film wouldn't work nearly as well if it was set on, say, a tropical island. Bullshit. This movie could have been just as well done if it was in the side of a fucking mountain.
True.
Or let's say any of those cave films, holes in the ground, those tunnels and shit. If something fucking vicious came out like that, I'd still be fucked up over it.
Agreed.
Let's be real. In John Carpenter's The Thing, the Antarctic wasteland feels as vast and terrifying and unknown as space itself. Kind of stupid. I don't know. I didn't like that.
No, me neither.
Do you want to cover the next ones or save it?
2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can save it if you want to. Or we can just blast through them real quick and not go into detail.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Ravenous being on this list because it is madness. It's terrification in the cold, not a lot to eat. And lo and behold, the winner is not the chicken dinner. It's everyone else around him that he eats.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for putting this on. It was definitely kind of an eye-opening kind of film on cannibalism.
Exactly.
Which is so funny because they call it an anti-Dances with Wolves.
Okay.
Guy Pearce fucking nailed this role. I don't care what this bullshit article has to say about it. Now, The Revenant, they're saying it does not count as a horror movie. Then why the fuck did you put it on here?
No, they said plenty of people say that and then try to prove these people wrong.
Oh. You know what? I saw this movie. It's not a horror film.
No.
Deleted. Sorry, Leonardo.
Yeah.
It's okay, but if you want to sit and, watch Man Against Nature.
Oh no.
And how did I fucking know it?
Except it's not number one. Does that count for anything?
I guess, but I knew it would fall on here.
Ahem. The weather outside is frightful, but Overlook Hotel is so delightful. Fuck's sake, really?
It's a good movie. It's a great book. It's great. It had its time, its point in history.
Mhm.
And if you want to go revisit a classic once in a while, this is definitely a good one. But I got to tell you, The fucking Shining is a ghost story.
Yes. And yes, there's some wintry scenes in it. And the whole theme is overwintering at a hotel. But like
Right.
the fact that it's winter, I feel like for the most part doesn't affect them nearly as much as the hotel itself.
I mean, unless they were trying, right? Unless people are trying to say, "Oh, but stuck in a spooky motel, because of the great snow and all this shit. That snow
Yeah.
drives you mad." I'm sure I don't know. We all lived through COVID, and not everybody went crazy and tried to kill each other. It's the fucking ghosts of the place that did that.
Exactly.
They drove Jack insane. I mean, let's face it. If every time you turn around, you're talking to a dead person, or the freaky ass twins and the blood in the hallway, sure, it's enough to fuck anybody up. But there are much finer films, seriously, set in winter time, that are much, much spookier than this one. I don't even know what to say about this next one. Well, who even fucking knows it exists except for Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
Something particularly unpleasant about sitting in a cold car in the middle of winter, especially if the vehicle won't start or get stuck in the snow. Hello. I don't think there's anyone that has never had the unfortunate pleasure of getting their vehicle stuck in the snow or it died.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're just trying to, according to this anyway, the idea of claustrophobia. And that makes it number one. That's what I want to do. I want to kick my fucking footies up in front of a roaring fire, sipping a fine glass of bourbon, and watching two people stuck in a fucking car in the dead of winter, knowing I can't go outside. Or shouldn't go outside, I should say. And that's my entertainment? No. So, Den of Geek you are, sir. Doesn't belong at number one.
No, you suck.
I could think of way better fucking movies to watch during the wintertime. And no, they don't take place in the winter.
That is true.
Don't they call this the season of depression?
Yep.
Well, who wants to sit there and get more depressed?
Exactly.
I'd rather watch fucking white chicks than that. Seriously. Really bad stab at winter favorites.
And then what Fury got right, they fucking ripped apart, and not in a good way.
Never fails.
Never fails.
Never fucking fails. They shit on the best ones and then praise the ones that don't even deserve to be there.
I'm pretty sure this guy, whoever wrote this, must have, frozen away the rest of their brain cells or something, because they sound stupid.
Or frozen their balls somehow. I don't know, but it was just horrible fucking writing.
Mm-hmm.
Just terrible.
Terrible.
We could come up with a much better list, folks. So we are so thankful that on this wonderful cold Friday night, you were able to sit with us two assholes and suffer through this maniacal, diabolical
Yeah.
list of winter horror favorites,
Yeah.
which I'm sure all of you, could come up with a hell of a lot better ones. If so, leave them in the comment section below. We appreciate you suffering with us here. And, maybe you are sitting in front of a roaring fire and you're thinking about what to watch. But when you watch,
Mm.
stay heavy.